The dental records were a 99% match. The DNA test confirmed the rest. Evelyn Reed was legally dead.
I stared at the flickering television screen in the motel room. The news anchor was talking about a tragic car fire on Route 9. They showed a picture of my car. They showed a picture of my face.
Evelyn touched her own cheek. It was cold.
I am alive. I am sitting right here.
But what investigators would later piece together was a story far more disturbing than a simple fatal accident. To understand how Evelyn Reed died, you have to go back 3 weeks.
On October 12th, Evelyn did something she had done hundreds of times before. She woke up at 6 a.m., she checked her phone, she walked into the kitchen. Mark, her husband of 4 years, was already there.
Morning, Evie. Coffee's ready.
He was the kind of person who remembered the little things. He took his coffee black. He always brought hers with 2 sugars and a splash of oat milk.
Thank you. Did you sleep well?
Like a rock. You?
I hadn't. I had been waking up exhausted for days.
Evelyn was a freelance writer. She worked from a small desk in the spare bedroom.
She was meticulous. She kept her pens on the right, her notebook stacked on the left. That Tuesday, she noticed the notebook was shifted.
Just a few millimeters. Not enough to be obvious. Just enough to feel wrong.
She told herself it was nothing. It was the kind of thing you explain away at the time. But the wrongness didn't stop there. 2 days later, Evelyn found something on the bathroom sink. A small, clear plastic case. Contact lenses.
I don't wear contacts. I have perfect vision.
She picked it up. The label read, New Life Vision.
Mark? Whose are these?
Mark walked in, drying his hands on a towel. His expression didn't change. Oh, those. Rachel must have left him.
Rachel was his new assistant. She had stopped by to drop off some files the night before. Why would she take her contacts out in our bathroom?
She said her eyes were irritated. Don't overthink it, Evie. You've been so stressed lately. He smiled. The smile lasted a half second too long.
I put the case in the trash. I told myself I was being paranoid.
But the exhaustion was getting worse. Evelyn felt heavy, groggy, as if moving underwater. And then came the nights.
I woke up at 3 a.m. The room was pitch black.
Mark was asleep next to me. I could hear his deep, rhythmic breathing.
But there was another sound.
Shallow, panting, coming from the foot of the bed. A breathing that wasn't mine and wasn't Mark's.
Evelyn froze. Her breathing went shallow. She didn't turn on the light.
Mark?
She shook him. He groaned and sat up, flipping the lamp on. The room was empty.
Evie, what is it? You're shaking. There was someone in here. I heard them breathing.
Mark sighed. It sounded like concern. It looked like pity. You're having night terrors again. You need to rest. Drink your coffee in the morning. It helps. Evelyn made a decision that seemed reasonable at the time. She agreed with him. She drank the coffee. By the 3rd week, Evelyn knew something was fundamentally wrong. The contact lens, the rearranged desk, the breathing in the dark. Every piece had been there. None of it had seemed connected until she stopped drinking the coffee.
I poured it down the sink when he wasn't looking. I pretended to take a sip. I told him it was delicious.
That night, Evelyn lay in bed. She kept her eyes closed. She forced her breathing to stay slow and even. At 2 a.m., the bedroom door opened.
I heard Mark get out of bed. He didn't turn on the light.
He walked to the door. He was whispering, "Come in. She's completely out." Evelyn's stomach dropped. The cold she felt had nothing to do with the temperature. Footsteps on the carpet. Light. Hesitant.
I opened my eyes just a fraction, just enough to see the shadows.
Standing next to Mark was a woman. She was wearing Evelyn's favorite blue sweater. She was wearing Evelyn's jeans.
You need to walk with a slight limp on the left side. She injured her knee last year.
Like this? The woman's voice. It was a perfect imitation of Evelyn's. My throat closed. My hands wouldn't work the way I needed them to.
Better. Remember, she keeps her pens on the right side of the desk. You moved the notebook yesterday. She noticed. The contact lens. The desk. The breathing in the dark. He wasn't having an affair.
He was training my replacement.
We do the switch on Friday. The car is rigged. The dental records are already swapped in the system. Mark touched the woman's face. It wasn't romantic. It was an inspection. You get the new identity and the cash. I get the life insurance. And Evelyn has a tragic accident.
Evelyn went very still. She did not breathe. The next morning, Mark brought her the coffee.
Morning, Evie. Drink up.
She smiled. She took the mug. She poured it into a potted plant the moment he turned his back. When Mark left for work, Evelyn didn't pack a bag. A bag would be noticed. She took her passport, the cash hidden in the emergency kit, and she walked out the back door. She did not look back.
I sat in a motel room 3 towns over, waiting. On Friday night, the news broke. A fatal car crash on Route 9. A vehicle registered to Mark and Evelyn Reed.
The body was burned beyond recognition.
He did it. He put her in my car. He set it on fire. The woman who wore my sweater. The woman who wore my face.
Mark Reed was never charged with any crime. The police report listed it as a tragic accident caused by a mechanical failure. He collected a $3 million life insurance policy payout from a company called New Life Vision. He moved to a different state 6 months later.
I am legally dead. If I go to the police, I have no proof. I would be a dead woman accusing a grieving widower of murder.
Evelyn Reed changed her name. She works in a small bookstore now.